But all of a sudden, we heard on the intercom everybody chattering, "Fighters," and I knew we were in trouble. And sure enough, the jet started coming through. The fourth one that came through somehow got a lucky shot into my plane, evidently somewhere from below, because with the armor plating behind my seat, that was not penetrated. And in fact, the shell, the 30 millimeter shell from the ME-262, came up apparently through the floor because it caught me in the right ankle, immediately blowing off that leg and wrecking my control pedestal, which evidently had something to do with shutting down the right engine, which had not been hit, but it did shut down. So immediately then I had to get the plane under control, or at least turned over the co-pilot and trim it up for him, since one man cannot hold a B-26 on one engine. And for the next 30 minutes, I gave him a complete oral manual about what to do in any eventuality of getting back somewhere where we could make some kind of a controlled landing. In the meantime, I lost most of my blood. Was lucky that I was not knocked unconscious. And after the initial attack, and of course after we were hit, we were left by the rest of the squadron, or the six-plane flight we were in. The jets came at us then from all directions. Their usual approach, of course, was directly from the rear. As they came in from all directions, I suppose they were playing some kind of a cat and mouse game, because we were in mortal danger of going down anyway. And they had trouble coming in and avoiding running into each other or us, so they turned the big wide wing and belly up in front of my gunners, who immediately shot down 4 of them, even though we were in the condition we were in. I think we finally got official recognition for 2, but nobody else saw what we did anyways. I believe my gunners when they said we got 4. After that, they left us alone for a while. The last 3 that had a go at us about 10 minutes later decided to go back to their normal tactics and come straight in from the rear. And when they did that, I would have the co-pilot I knew the tail gunner would open up first. When I would hear him shoot, I'd have my co-pilot make a 10-degree turn to the right, which also involved turning into the dead engine. Therefore, we had to nose down a bit to gain more altitude, or more speed, and lose altitude. And he thought that wasn't a good idea until I proved on the first pass that it worked, because with a 10-degree turn, I could look out to the left and see the jet pilot as clear as looking at someone across the room here. And I thumbed my nose at him while I was holding a turnkey with my right hand. The second one came through immediately, and I did the same thing with him. The third one came in, and as he got in that position even with us, all of a sudden he dove straight for the ground. I saw him take both hands and push the stick, wondering why he did that when he could have gone straight up. But I assumed later that he was probably at the end of their 20-minute range, and he didn't have enough fuel to go up, or was afraid he didn't. I looked back to see what had bothered him, and 2 P-51s had crept up on him while he slowed down to shoot at us. And they rolled upside down in formation. The only time I ever saw prop-driven planes do that and stay in formation. And they stayed upside down on the angle, and he went straight into the ground. They forced him right into the ground. So that really was the 5th one that we were responsible for. It should be called a bomber ace, I guess. And I neglected to say that I did shoot at one of those myself with my package guns in the initial fracas, but I didn't get him, so I don't brag about that. I was getting out of formation, and I had to get back into formation, and did that just in time to get hit. So maybe I should have followed him.